What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Shoot the J, the show about anything and everything NBA. I'm Jeremiah, and let's get this news popped off real quick. In a surprise blockbuster trade overnight, the Dallas Mavericks have traded the one, the only, Luka Doncic. Had to show my ass real quick. Luka Doncic has been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers in exchange for Anthony Davis. Yes, you heard it right. You heard it absolutely right. I thought they were lying. Everybody thought they were fucking lying. Nobody could believe their fucking eyes. But this shit happened, and now we got to kind of dive into it because that's the way that the NBA rolls. So this trade happened last night while about half of the NBA world was asleep, approximately 12 o'clock. NBA Twitter is on fire right now. I'm seeing all sorts of shit everywhere. Nobody knows what the fuck to do. This reminds me of LeBron trade, a KD trade. You could go back in history and really see a bunch of other shit. You could have your own example if you wanted to, but this is probably the biggest in most people's NBA lifetime if they're a recent fan. Nobody expected this shit to fucking happen. Personally, this is the largest NBA news I've experienced myself ever since the LeBron trade in 2018 to the Lakers. I remember that emotion. I remember that feeling. And this kind of brings me back over there. Ironic that it is a Lakers situation that's going on right now, but it seems like the Lakers fucking get everybody, no matter what. For generations, for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 fucking years, no matter what, the Lakers will get everybody, whoever the hell they want, as seen by what the bullshit is on my screen right now. But that's aside from the point. So everybody in the NBA world is asking each other one simple question. Why the hell would the Mavericks trade their superstar franchise player, Luka Doncic, in the first place, overall? But also, nonetheless, why would they give them to a rival Lakers team, which is already great in the West and going to be somebody they have to compete with for years to fucking come on end? But I'm not a GM. They don't pay me to be a GM. So I'm going to throw my GM hat on real quick. Ignore Knicks. I need to get another hat. I need to get some other NBA team on a hat, but this just works for the theme of the fucking video. So just go with it. Thank Jalen Brunson. Anyways, first we need to look at the full trade details. So that way we can make our own conclusions, per se. So what it's looking like is the Mavericks receive Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and the coveted Lakers 2029 first-round pick that they've been dangling over every fucking team's head for what feels like 4 years now, and they've been waiting to make a move on it. This was probably the best way they could have fucking used it. Somehow, Lakers fans praise Rob Pelinka. Y'all talk shit about Rob Pelinka all year, every year, until he gets something done. He works in the shadows. He's a silent killer. Anyways, the Lakers receive Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and washed up Markieff Morris. But that's aside from the point. Lakers obviously are happy with Luka being on their fucking team. The buzz around this trade this morning has led me to many separate articles, including this one that I'm going to cite from ESPN, stating that looking into the investigations, looking into everything, and really just trying to figure out what the hell happened and why is this happening on a random Saturday in the middle of the night before the trade deadline. The Mavericks were concerned about Luka Doncic's weight and conditioning, especially this season. I mean, this has been an ongoing on and off thing for maybe about 4 seasons, I would say. Even back when they had Jalen Brunson, there were complaints about Luka's fat or Luka Doncic, or he's being chillin', or he just, he's a great player, but he doesn't have that, Kobe level of just dedicating to the game and just working out and being one of those people. Or maybe he could just be a great player like a Jokic and just be fat as hell but just kill the entire league just like nobody's ever seen, because he's got all of that, those skills, that play style, the footwork, everything that you want and that you want to see. But the main point is they said he's fat. They said he's obese. He needs to get on fucking Ozempic. If you don't get on Ozempic, get the fuck out of Dallas. Which is not cool. at all. Now, to be fair, Luka had only played 22 out of the 49 games that the Mavericks played this year. So it may have been seen as a thing of, well, how many games can he play? Will he be fully healthy from the beginning of the season? It seems like he has a hard time getting in shape before the season because he'd just be having the time of his life in the goddamn offseason. And then towards the end, he kind of locks in, just like last year. They had their finals run and all that jazz, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think Dallas is willing to do that again and again. Most teams would, but Dallas is just kind of sick and tired of it. So the Mavericks, in his absence, have actually been performing better if you look at the stats in the games that Luka had not played in and Kyrie and other starters had played in. They're actually performing much better this season and are not doing too bad in the Western Conference. They're definitely underperforming compared to last year's final run. But if we even look at last year, they didn't even do that well until after the trade deadline. So maybe they're trying to make some magic happen again, but it might not be the kind of magic that they're trying to see. It should also be said that with the acquisition of Klay in the offseason, the Mavs have this really great backcourt with Klay and Kyrie, where they kind of feel like Luka, for lack of a better word, is the odd man out, even though he shouldn't be. You've got Klay being on the bench, or some games they were just trying to figure out how they can work together. Two ball dominant guards like Luka and Kyrie playing together. How's it going to look in the grand scheme of things? Is their defense going to suffer from it? And they did. Now, Dallas is also clearly looking to improve defensively with this trade. They're also planning on giving their offensive keys to players like Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson. So Kyrie is somebody who can facilitate the offense, and he can also utilize an elite big man like Anthony Davis in the paint. You know, even though they have had some decent big men in the past, I feel like with the Luka play style, they don't really utilize their big man that well. They don't utilize the pick and roll as much as they could with an offensive weapon like that. But now you have somebody with the handles like Kyrie, the touch like Kyrie, Anthony Davis rolling to the basket. They've both got spacing, both great three-point shooters. I mean, it's definitely looking like a better fit than people anticipate it to be, even though everybody's mostly just talking shit about the Mavericks. The coin that I feel like people aren't talking about with the Dallas trade is the Mavericks. This is a money thing. This is a money thing. It's always a money thing. We need to realize everything in the NBA is a money thing. The Mavericks were most likely not willing to offer Luka this insanely ridiculous supermax contract in the next 1 to 2 years. I had read somewhere that with the new CBA and the new rules and the new money that people are making, you know, Luka could demand the largest contract in NBA history to date, which was looking like some damn $400 million supermax for like 5 years. Dude is about to get paid like $90 million a year, and will still get paid $90 million a year from the Lakers because they're just going to dump that goddamn money into him, just like they have done with many other players in the past. But the Mavs have been known to not ever want to fully commit or spend a bunch of fucking money on a lot of their players. I.e. the Kyrie contract was maybe 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. Klay Thompson was a little bit shorter. They, you know, in the past they haven't paid superstars. They let go of Jalen goddamn Brunson just because they didn't want to pay him. So people could, I guess, see this coming just not so soon, not so sudden, and people definitely expected a better payout, to be fair. Luka Doncic is a top 10, potentially top 5, maybe a year or two ago, but top 10 NBA talent in this league. You don't just let go of somebody like that for fucking crumbs. Now, granted, Anthony Davis is not crumbs, but also there's an age gap there. Now, it's incredibly shocking that the Mavericks would make such a sudden move like this after having a great season last year, making it all the way to the NBA Finals, and a shock surprise for everybody. But this can also be taken as, like I mentioned before, a tax break for the Mavericks. It seems they've been quick to make trades in the past, and they usually make trades right before the trade deadline, very silently and very randomly. They definitely don't mind shaking up their roster, and they've done it for about 5 years straight, essentially, of just massive revamping, aside from keeping Luka on the team, which is no longer the case. But in the grand scheme of things, Dallas fans, close your ears if I say this, because if we look at the past 3 seasons of them trading Kristaps Porzingis, Jalen Brunson, and Luka Doncic, what has come from this? What will pan out from this? What will be their actual payback through and through. You know, people can look at a team like I want to really use an example is the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets, when they had Kyrie, KD, and Harden, and they're like, hey, well, all three of those guys are fucking gone. What the hell do we have right now? First, they were like, Michael Bridges, yeah, let's do it, blah, blah. And, you know, now looking at it, great scheme of things, they ended up okay. They have a bunch of picks, blah, blah. They're back in their rebuild mode, but still goes to show it's like, okay, you had three of these really high-level players in the league. They're highly coveted. A lot of people would trade for these people and ask for anything, and you couldn't really get much for it. Now, the Mavs are looking to be in that direction. I feel like they could be in a rebuild mode in about, say, 2 to 3 years. I do think they'll be competitive. Don't get me wrong. I do think they'll be competitive this season and next season. Past that, who the hell knows? Because they just traded away their future. They just traded away their whole future. They traded away their franchise player, their future. They traded away all of their leverage. This is a guy that if they really wanted to rebuild, they could trade Luka for 6 goddamn first-round picks. Like, people would pay that amount of money and just fuck off with it and don't care. And you managed to get Anthony Davis. While he does fit on your team better, I'm definitely not talking shit about Anthony Davis. I'm not talking shit about his fit on the team. It's just the value. The value is not there. What the hell is Dallas doing? The Lakers. Laker Nation, stand up. I quite literally don't know where to start with this franchise. The Lakers the past 4 years have been floundering for real help, man. I mean, they've been just searching every single corner for some kind of help for this 40-year-old geriatric LeBron. Each year, the fans look to the window where LeBron will be out of the league, away from the Lakers, and the Lakers will probably be doomed to another 10-year rebuild, just like a repeat of when Kobe was in his last couple years. He retired, and the Lakers were hot ass for a long time. But not only are the Lakers looking exciting right now as we speak, like tomorrow, like when they play this goddamn team. But the real prize, the real star prize is the fact that the Lakers have somehow managed to acquire a 25-year-old superstar in his prime. This is their franchise player. This is their future. This is what they will build everything off of and nothing else for years to come. Now, the Lakers were already a big market team with aura to just pull countless stars from across the league or to join them in free agency. But now that they got a solid talent and a name in Luka Doncic, who the hell knows what players in the future will join the Los Angeles Lakers? I mean, like I said, they already had their own pull, but people are going to look at players like Luka and like, I want to play with that dude. I want to be side by side with the dude. I want to be taking photo ops. I want to be going to the hookah lounge with Luka Doncic after the game. That's exactly the type of play style that I'm looking for right now. So they're going to be a hot target. I feel like a lot of free agents in the next 5 to 10 years, you could definitely see more people heading to LA that you didn't expect to previously just because of the pull of it. And especially right now, Luka, LeBron. I mean, who the hell is not going to want to play with those two people and just get you easy freaking buckets? See, now if I stop glazing, we can probably look at how they're actually going to look on the floor. So when you really see it, Luka is a ball-dominant floor general, which is precisely what the Lakers were looking for quite a while. I mean, it just made sense with LeBron getting a little bit older and just wanting to efficiently use him without overworking him. You need the ball to be in somebody else's hands. You need somebody who can facilitate the offense and also utilize LeBron's spacing in a very similar way to kind of how a point guard and a small forward played together, like with Kyrie and LeBron on the Cavs days. But not everything is sweet in this deal for the Lakers, though. Let's not get ahead of ourselves and say the Lakers are winning the championship. They're super exciting. I'm ordering a Luka LeBron jersey, a Luka Los Angeles Lakers jersey, ASAP. Okay? But they still, after all these years, have not solved their center/big man situation. They've actually made it far worse by removing Anthony Davis, which was their only chance at having any big man presence and any type of formidable defense on this team, which they've been great defensively for the past couple years. We'll really have to see how this affects their defense, their rebounding, other factors during the game. We won't be able to know until we really see them adapt. Now, I do personally think that the Lakers and the Mavericks will both improve this season since they are both benefiting from positions that they were missing prior to the trade. But my real point here, and why I believe all Maverick fans around the world are in shambles, is that Luka is so young and he has limitless potential. The Lakers are bound to be set for 5 to 7 years plus, regardless of however this trade goes. Because they have an actual direction for their franchise, an actual player that they can set on and they can build upon. But the Mavs, I just feel like, have been settling for trades ahead of the deadline just to move people and salary. All of this movement, all this GM cold calling and all that, I mean, I would applaud them if I feel like they're getting some crazy haul. And, hey, you guys moved them at the right time. You guys are making business decisions. You're saving money. But you do all of this to stay mid. To stay horrifically mid in the West, which has not only been talented for many years, but it's continuing to be talented with teams like OKC, teams like the Rockets, being, menaces to come for many years. It just feels like, are the Mavs selling a little bit too early? But it's not my job to hate on the Mavs or glaze the Lakers or glaze the Mavs or glaze this. I'm a fan of all the goddamn teams. This is exciting for both teams. I love this trade. I love when stuff like this actually flips the entire NBA on its head, and I cannot wait. But what do all of you think? Who truly won the trade? Did both teams get what they wanted from this deal? Who got shafted? Which team will be better off in 3 years, to be exact? And will this propel either team into a strong playoff push this season? Because ideally, that's what both teams are looking for. They're doing this right behind the trade deadline, being like, yo, let's go for it right now. It'll be very interesting to see how all of this pans out. I may be right. I may be wrong. Everybody could be wrong. But anyways, y'all, please show some love to the show. Like, comment, share, and promote Shoot the J. Thank you again for watching and enjoying. If you made it to the end of the video, you are an absolute real one. And you have officially defeated the ADHD allegations. Congratulations. I love y'all. Peace.